Yes, I am wearing a cheetah sweater with penguin pajama pants. You can't tell me nothing. Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. So I'm gonna start doing story time. Storytelling. I'm gonna start doing storytelling, telling stories during story time. I think storytelling is super duper important. I mean, when you think about it, it's how most of our history was written. A couple of days ago, I had my first day substitute teaching. When I say no one, I repeat, no one could have prepared me for what I experienced on that day. So for the next couple minutes, I'm going to give you a brief overview of how my day went. Due to traumatization, my brain has repressed some of my experience. Thank you. So I started off my day walking 4 kids upstairs to the classroom. I was like, this is great. Like, this is awesome. So as time passed, some more kids started trickling in. Some more kids. I began passing out the packet that the teacher left. And the kids are getting a little rowdy. Some of the kids are out of their seat. You know, they're talking really loud. Some kids are yelling. Some kids are throwing stuff. But I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's still the morning. They just got here. They're hungry, you know. I finally get their attention. Maybe a couple minutes, maybe a minute. So I give them a couple of my rules for the day. And I tell them what they're supposed to be doing in the packet. From this point forward, I experienced a rapid progression of mayhem. From this point forward, honestly, it's just a joke. It's an absolute joke. I must have been telling jokes the entire rest of the day. It feels like a dream joke. What? It feels like a dream joke. You guys ever had a dream joke? Me either until this day. So I'll explain to you a few of the scenarios that played out. I broke up about 3 fights. I broke up about 5 almost fights. Did I mention that these are 4th graders? These kids are about 9 years old. In 4th grade. 27 4th graders. I had about 10 to 15 kids sneaking in and out of the classroom throughout the day. It was great. Sometimes it'd be 2 at a time. Sometimes it'd be 1. I think the most I had was like 4 at a time. 4 kids sneaking out together. Fun times. He must have went on an adventure. Who knows? I had Rihanna over here in the front of the classroom twerking her life away, but she not doing her work, but she out here twerking. I sent about 10 students outside at different times throughout the day, and each one of those students more than once. I had one kid, we'll call him Barry. I sent him outside. A couple minutes later, good old Barry opens up the door.
Okay, donut head.
Did he just call me donut head?
Donut head.
So the last hour of the day, you have Barry, and let's call her Annie. You have Barry and Annie running rampant around the school. Open the door. Pew! There goes Barry. Hey Barry, how are ya? Oh, there goes Annie. Hope you're having fun. I'm in the corner trying to calm down one of the students, and then you have 3 more students over here who are trying to steal things off the bookshelf, and then you have another student in the front of the room who's breaking the fan, and then you have another student in the corner who's throwing stuff at another student. You have kids at the window throwing stuff out of the window. You have kids sneaking behind the teacher's desk because I'm not at the desk. I'm over in the corner still trying to help so-and-so. I called the office on 3 separate occasions. So the last time I called the office was during dismissal. I was trying to get the kids ready, you know, to go home. They weren't having it. They weren't all bad. There was maybe like 4 to 5 kids who I could tell really enjoyed my presence. I had a few kids who would come up and show me pictures that they were drawing, and a few that were actually doing the assignments. They would show me it, and I'd be like, oh, this is so sweet. I wish I could spend more time with you right now, but I can't because your classmates are going crazy. This one boy, we're gonna call him Billy. In the beginning of the day, he was okay. He wasn't doing his work, but he was quiet. As the day went on, he started to feed off of the other kids' energy, and he got a little rowdy. I had to talk to him a bunch of times. As Billy was leaving, he looks up at me and he goes,
I'm sorry for making you have a bad day.
Tears start to well up in my eyes. I was fighting back tears the entire day. So at this point, him saying that, I couldn't. With a knot in my throat, I reply, you're fine. There was an after-school teacher who was in the room. She had came the last couple minutes to hand out papers or something like that. And so I hear her yell, are you okay? I turn around. This is my first time substitute teaching ever. I probably had some snot dripping down. My glasses were probably fogged up. She just begins to comfort me. And she also just begins to tell me how these kids need someone like you. These kids need someone who's not going to give up on them. She began to talk about how most of the kids don't have a stable home and their environments are not that great, which is something that I could sense. The school that I was teaching at was in a low-income neighborhood. Now, I heard all about schools like this before. I mean, I watched Freedom Writers. The kids are bad. The kids are tainted by their environment. I heard how they don't have that much money within the school system, so therefore they're not given the same opportunities that other kids are. I thought I knew, but to experience it firsthand was entirely different. I wept from 3 o'clock p.m. when I left class until 7 o'clock p.m. And I cried for many reasons. I cried because I felt trampled all over by these kids. I cried because I felt like I failed as a substitute teacher. I failed as an adult. Like, what am I doing with my life? The main reason that I was crying was I, for the first time, experienced the brokenness of underprivileged kids. I know that these kids aren't bad kids. I know that these kids are just dealing with a lot of different issues than I had to deal with growing up. And I just sat there and I thought about the fact that these kids don't receive the same education that students maybe 20 minutes away from them have the chance to experience. They don't have the same opportunities. Their environment that they live in is not set up for them to succeed. I realized that if it wasn't for this experience, the passion that I have for youth and the passion that I have for empowering people within low-income neighborhoods, it wouldn't be burning as bright as it is right now. The fire wouldn't be as hot. So I say all of this to say, I think it's super duper important for us to interact with people who are different than us, to see things from other people's perspectives, and to really just try to gain an understanding of someone else. Look at other people and try to understand where they're coming from and try to understand maybe why it is they behave the way that they behave or why it is that they think the way that they think. So I could label this day as one of the worst days that I've had in a very long time. But I know in the near future, I'm gonna look back at this day and I'm gonna say, this was one of the best days ever. I hope you guys loved this slice of vegan pizza as much as I love you. If you want special delivery, you can hit the subscribe button. Yeah, okay. JVP